Good day, Brittle Planet listeners. This is Eric Peterson, quarantining from Salt Lake City today, and I'm actually in the McDonald's parking lot because I have no Wi-Fi at home today. And today I'm joined by Lesbian, Bed, Death. And how are you guys doing today?
Great, thank you.
Good.
Great, yeah.
So why don't you guys introduce yourself and tell me what you do for the band?
Yeah, okay. I'm Dan, stage name Mr. Peach. I'm the founder member of the band. I play rhythm guitar. That's it, really. That's as interesting as I am. Go on.
I'm Lucy Floor, and I do the singing, and I do some of the songwriting. And I come from lovely old Cheshire.
Nice. And so you guys are both quarantining from England today, right?
We are, yeah. I've been quarantined for weeks now.
How are things going over there?
We're not all dead yet, so that's a positive start, I guess.
Yeah.
It's difficult. I'm working from home, but it's difficult for the band because we're trying to write a new album, and we all live about a good hour away from each other, so we're trying to do everything over the internet.
Okay. And I mean, so things haven't turned into 28 days later yet, so.
No.
Give it a couple of weeks, possibly.
Yeah. So my first question for you guys is, how long have you guys spent together as a band?
I'll throw that one to you, Dan.
Well, I started it out as a side project back in 2004. And we met Lucy Four back in 2005, I think, end of 2005, and put our first album out in 2006. So the band has been around in some form or another for, I can't count above 10, so you'll have to work it out.
About 16, 15 years.
Something like that. So it's just too long, way too long, We're old enough to know better now.
Well, that album was I Use My Power for Evil, correct?
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you guys have had a series of albums since then.
Yeah.
And then in 2019 you released Born to Die on VHS.
Yep.
And that has some of your own stuff, and then it has a bunch of covers on it, correct?
Yeah,
That's right,
Fury, Flesh, and Born to Die on VHS, they're originals.
And I watched the video for Born to Die on VHS, and I have to say I love the video.
Cool.
I mean
It was a lot of fun to make it.
It's right in the realm of a B movie horror movie. You know what I mean? Just total B movie. It's perfect. It's perfect for what you guys.
I thought it was quality as well when I seen it.
Thank you.
I thought it was quality.
It is.
Yeah,
it totally is. So the rest of the album is basically a bunch of your favorite songs from horror movies, right?
That's right. Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about some of your favorite ones on there that you were to sing for you guys.
For me, it was definitely the doing the Critters theme tune, Lost in the Shadows, Hellraiser, and Pet Sematary. But every time I did one and was presented with a new one, I was like, oh my God, I forgot how much I love this song.
Yeah.
So eventually it's like the whole album just becomes one album of, oh my God.
Because it is a very good, diverse group of songs. I mean, you go from kind of a glamish Dokken to a Pet Sematary from the Ramones to the Party Time by Grave 45, and those are all great songs from movies. So
yeah, I think some of those films, the soundtrack is almost as important as the movie itself, especially Return of the Living Dead and Lost Boys. I mean, those soundtracks are iconic.
It's synonymous with the film.
Yeah, totally.
So did you have any others that you were thinking about putting on that you just didn't make the cut?
I could have done a triple album, to be honest. There's a few. There was a track by Lamont from Return of the Living Dead Part 2. I'd have quite liked to have done. I wanted to do the theme from Shocker, which is a super group featuring Paul Stanley and Desmond Child, and Tommy Lee was on there as well. I wanted to do that. We had such a long list of songs to do, and a lot of it. We had a couple of special guests on the album as well, and then there was a couple of guests that for some reason couldn't do it, and they were the people I had in mind for the duets on songs like Shocker. So that was the reason we locked that one off. We had to axe a few songs. So if we didn't get, the special guests we wanted, then they were the first that went in the bin, like SSQ's track off Return of the Living Dead as well. There was quite a few of them. But all my favourites made the cut.
Shocker, so, I'm glad you brought up Shocker, because that's a very good movie. I love that movie, and I love that soundtrack. And then the other one I was thinking about that I was like, oh, it was Trick or Treat.
Yeah. With what's his name from Motorhead?
Yeah. No, Trick or Treat. Yeah, and the Fastway does the soundtrack.
That's right. Yeah, Fast Eddie Clark.
Yeah.
It's a great song. I love Trick or Treat. It's a really good movie. That was another one that was on the list. There was quite a few in the end. I'm trying to think of the other ones.
No, my mind's just gone.
I wanted to do an obscure one. There's a pop song called Romeo Romeo off Halloween 5, and I wanted to do like a kind of a more rocked up version of that. But again, that's one. I don't know. Maybe we'll do Born to Die on VHS 2 sequel.
There you go.
You got to have a sequel.
There you go.
Have a sequel. It's not horror with that one.
So Lucy, I just wanted to ask you: was there any songs in particular that had special meaning when you recorded them that were challenging?
Definitely Power of the Night and the Heartbreaker song.
Oh, Heartbreaker. Okay.
Pat Benatar.
And was it challenging vocally for you?
It was more. I didn't want to try and karaoke it and imitate, but more get every bit of nuance out of it. So I just wanted to do it justice, and I hope I have.
Yeah, you did a great job on it.
I think it's really great that we have fans who know exact type of songs that will suit my voice, and it's brilliant.
Yeah, the Heartbreaker was a bonus track. It was chosen by one of our fans on our Indiegogo campaign.
Oh, nice.
I don't think it's been on a horror film or anything, but
no,
we added it onto the album because we were really happy with how it turned out. In many ways, it's probably the best song on the album, so we couldn't leave it off.
And I mean, I don't want to. I mean, we're talking about all these songs that are covers, but I mean, I don't want to take any credence away from you guys' original songs, because those are great songs on there too. Are those songs that you've had on the docket for a while, or you recorded specifically for this album? I mean, I know Born to Die on VHS, obviously, but the other two?
Sorry, go on.
Fury was originally recorded by Adele Diaz.
Okay.
And one of the singers before me.
Okay.
But we got to reinvigorate it and then bring about Flesh, and they just seem to gel together with the rest of the songs.
Yeah. We re-recorded Fury when Lucy rejoined the band, and the other ones, Flesh. There was a couple of riffs I had kicking around that I was playing with for a while, but the last two songs came together quite quickly. Flesh and Born to Die on VHS, because I thought it was really important to have more than just one original track on the album. I wanted to have at least three, and I'm quite happy with how they turned out. We put them together to try and make them fit with the horror theme and with the other songs, so I think they sit fairly nicely together. So I'm quite happy with them.
And then, as far as you guys' history alive, I've been researching you guys, and you guys opened up for Michael Graves, correct?
That's right. Yeah, twice.
Nice. And how was that?
It was cool. We met him, and he was actually really nice.
He is a very nice guy. He's a very nice guy. Sorry, the internet crackled a little bit there. Sorry about that. Oh, that's all right. Yeah, he's a great guy. He's very quiet too.
Yeah, he's quite humble. He was interesting. I know with the Misfits, they've all got a really bad reputation.
Yeah.
So I didn't know what we'd expect, really. Especially as I've been such a massive fan of the Misfits, like since probably before I could walk. So I'd be really upset if he turned out to be a dickhead or anything. But he was actually really cool. So it was quite a fun experience. It was interesting.
So is there any
the first band on? So. We were lucky. We played to about 25% of his audience both times. So we were just the first band on of like 3 or 4.
Okay.
But it was cool still to be part of the show.
Have you guys opened up for any other bands that you just have been a dream for you?
Skeletal Family.
Yes, that was an amazing night. The whole place just, it was just electrified.
Nice.
Yeah, it was a really, really good show. Great band. There's a few that I'd like to gig with if it ever happens, but I mean,
we'll throw them out there.
A lot of these support slots are buy-ons, or you find that those bands, they're on a certain label, or they've got onto those shows, a different way. It's very rare that an independent band will score a support slot with, say, Ghost or Alice Cooper or someone like that. With the Michael Graves shows, it was because we were the token local band that did the sort of the horror punk thing. So we managed to get on that way. But the main supports will be from other labels, and there'll be cash involved in that.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I forgot to answer your question before. We did the tour with the Birthday Massacre, full UK tour, about a couple of years ago, and that was amazing.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah, they're one of my favourite bands.
Nice.
So that was a really cool experience. They were lovely people as well.
So give me a little bit of your, if you guys had a choice, or if you had a chance to go out with somebody, who would you like to go out with?
Ghost.
Okay.
It's a bit much to ask.
I'm a bit. I'd love to be able to go, if I could go back in time and do it with some certain bands from the 80s, but for me, I don't know if anyone would agree with me, but Panic at the Disco, I just love the whole the embracing of different stuff in his videos when he does the gothic-y kind of edge stuff.
Yeah.
I just lost credence then.
And I'd have to go with Alice Cooper as well, but obviously.
Alice Cooper as well, yeah.
I'd be a little concerned that he'd realise we've been ripping him off for the last 15 years, and I don't know if he'd be too happy about that. So
I just want makeup tips on that eyeliner.
So you guys are currently, you're quarantined, so you're not doing any live shows, but are you working on some new material?
Yep, there's stuff flying back and forth.
Nice.
Yeah.
And are you hoping to get something out in the next 6 months to 9 months or so?
Yes.
Nice.
Yes. Okay, don't want to spoil it too much, but the plan is it's very fluid because we don't know what's happening with the lockdown and everything. But what would be nice would be to get another music video for the song Flesh off the current album. Nice. And then I would like to have at least a new single and a new video out by Halloween. And then perhaps, if all the stars align, then maybe we'll have a new album out sometime early next year. So we'll have to see how it all pans out then.
That'd be nice for you guys. It'd just be a nice trail onto the heels of this album here that was actually remixed and remastered, correct?
Oh yeah,
that's right. Yeah.
And I didn't hear the original, but the one you guys sent me, I loved. So.
Oh yeah, I think it sounds epic.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, the original version. The original version is very kind of very punk the way it's mixed. It sounds like a garage band, and it's a bit distorted in areas, and it's all very raw. There's like no compression on the vocals and things like that. It's cool, but my mate Steve Lethal, who remastered and remixed the whole thing, he's done such an amazing job that it kind of it makes the original version sound shit now.
Oh, does it really?
I was happy with it when we did it, but now Steve's done this new version. I'm just like, wow, that has to replace the original on Spotify and YouTube and everything. We just have to go with that. We sound like a real band now. Sound like we're on a major label or something.
Well, it sounds very polished, and I know that's kind of anti-punk, but it sounds very polished and it sounds very good, which is what I like from. I mean, I love the punk sound, but you get too much distortion in there, and it takes away from the sound itself.
Yeah, there's good punk and there's bad punk, and I think it's important to realise the difference between something sounding raw and live and something that just sounds like it's been recorded on the cheap and is just a bit shit and hasn't had much love put into the mix.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a lot of punk and hardcore has been parceled off as raw and authentic. In fact, they haven't spent any money on it, and it's been recorded in someone's garage or something. It doesn't sound very good.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, the Misfits are a great example. I mean, the stuff they did with Michael Graves is raw and punk, but it has that sheen and that polish as well. It sounds huge at the same time. It's just perfect sound-wise.
Yeah. So my next question for you is, I've got to ask you, where did you guys come up with the name?
Okay. I was watching a documentary late at night. Just you just channel flicking, just watching things for 10 minutes, and I needed a name for this band, and I wanted it to be kind of goth and kind of larger than life, like a gothic Kiss or something. And I needed a name that was just borderline ridiculous and just excessive. I was watching this program, and it was a documentary about gay relationships, and this professor was talking about this term called lesbian bed death. And me being a complete child, I just thought that sounds like a name of the most badass metal band ever. Lesbian bed death. I mean, no one's really going to call their band that, but yeah, it sounds ridiculously like rock and metal. So it was so over the top that it just fitted what I wanted to do perfectly. So and the good thing is no one wants to steal the band name as well.
No. No, I mean, I don't think there's another band out there that's, saying, hey, what are we going to call ourselves? Well, we can't do that because there's already that name.
Yeah.
Exactly.
There is a little blue donut with LBD on Twitter that I nearly ended up following, thinking it was us because it was LBD official.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so little blue donuts, they're out there.
Oh, okay.
Little blue donuts.
Okay, that makes sense. Little blue donuts. Okay.
Yeah, I like donuts. I like donuts a bit too much, especially in quarantine. I just can't stop eating. I don't know about you, but
it's essential. Essential.
Yeah. I hear you. I hear you. So my last question for you guys is, for both of you, can you give me a song of your band that best describes the state of the world as it is right now?
No, I've got one. It's off the first album. It's called Everybody's Dead. Because one of the line goes, no one comes to my gigs anymore.
That's the one. It's got to be Everybody's Dead. Yeah, Everybody's Dead.
Yeah,
give it 2 weeks, and we'll all be dead. So what can we do?
That's perfect.
I was trying to think of another idea.
Like Moonlight one?
No. I can't think of anything to top Everybody's Dead, unfortunately. That's the soundtrack to 2020.
It is. It pretty much is.
Sure. Yeah.
It is. Well, Dan and Lucy, I appreciate your guys' time. And for everybody, how can everybody find you guys?
Ooh, well, if you go near the McDonald's in Stoke-on-Trent, you'll normally find me hanging. Well, no, actually, we've got a new Bandcamp. That's kind of cool. lesbianbeddeathband.bandcamp.com. I set that up a couple of days ago. We've got the regular website, lesbianbeddeath.net. We're on Twitter and Facebook as LBD Official, and Instagram /lesbianbeddeath, YouTube /lesbianbeddeath. We're everywhere. We get everywhere, don't we?
You just type into Google lesbian bed death and let it all unload for you.
You get all kinds of shit doing that.
Nice.
Cheers.
Lesbian Bed Death Band is what you want, otherwise you'll get all kinds of shit.
Well, that's great.
We're everywhere.
That's great because
no one listens to us, but we're everywhere anyway. So,
well, I mean, you got to start somewhere, right? And what better with a kick-ass name like that?
And someone must be listening. Them views are quite high.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Just me.
Well, thanks you guys, and I appreciate your time, and it's been amazing. And like I said, I'm glad that Dan sent me the email, and I was like, oh, I'm going to check this out, and I put it on and I loved it. So
awesome.
Yeah, thanks for doing that.
Yeah,
and thank you for this interview.
The things with rock and roll independent bands is you can email 200 different magazines, webzines, and you'll get back about 3 or 4 replies normally.
Yeah.
Thanks for actually making the effort to do that. We really appreciate it.
Of course. So everybody go check these guys out. They're amazing. They've got that. I mean, I'm a huge Alice Cooper fan. I'm a huge 69 Eyes fan, and this is right up that alley. So
cool. You're one of my favorite bands, 69 Eyes. Yeah, love them. Awesome.
So thanks, you guys. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Cheers, Eric. Thank you.